to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today is part 8 of 10 in our top 100 films of the 2020s. This is the 20s of our 2020s, 20 through 29. We're going to start at the bottom, work our way to the top there, and I cannot wait. We've had 7 brilliant parts, and these movies just keep getting better. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And are you ready?
I mean, I guess as ready as I'll ever be right now. Yeah, this is where it gets very difficult. And these are all movies that I love very, very dearly. And it's hard to put any one over the other. And grappling with that has been tough, but I don't know.
That's just how these things go. That's just what happens. But damn, man. All right. Then I think I'm ready to go ahead and take us on in. It is tough. It is tough where we're at. But I'm ready to kick this thing off. How about you give me your 29?
Okay. All right. Well, kicking it off here with a Yorgos Lanthimos movie here. This is where I have Poor Things, 2023, and just overall really pretty movie. I remember
just Yorgos, by the way.
Yes, Yorgos. I think I did add another syllable in there. My bad, but no, yeah, just a beautiful movie here, and one that is very gripping with a lot of different moral questions and gets to a lot of different places.
Very unique.
And you definitely don't see this interaction much in real life at all. It's kind of like a Frankenstein-ish sort of movie, and is she a real adult? Not really. She has a child brain, and but adult. I don't know. Very, very crazy, but. Love Willem Dafoe in here. Just another crazy act from him. I love him every time he pops up. And yeah, I mean, obviously Emma Stone kind of being the forefront here. And love her performance, obviously.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And she's I don't know, through the whole movie we stick with her, and it's I don't know, just really beautiful. I think that's what I remember the most out of this movie is the cinematography and just kind of how good it looked the whole time. And I don't know, not one that I haven't watched it in a while. I really need to get back to it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
But I don't know. I just remember it being so good looking and so gripping whenever I watched it, and But yeah, it's just kind of why it fell down here, kind of at 29. But definitely one, it's up there.
Oh God, it was gorgeous.
Still, yeah,
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The title cards when they went to a new place and all that good stuff. It's a gorgeous fucking movie, man. So yeah, I'm glad you have it top 30 here. It was just outside of my top 30 as I had it last episode, but man, yeah, one of those movies where every time I've only watched it twice, but both times I watched it, I was just awed by it, taken with it. It's a really, really brilliant film. So I love you kicking it off there. 29 being Poor Things. I'm gonna go with a Netflix original. It went straight to Netflix, which is, I wish it hadn't. I wish that this had made it to the big screen. But this is where I have Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, co-directed by GDT and Mark Gustafson, R.I.P.
Damn.
I mean, this is a relatively recent rewatch, and another one that didn't move much when I did rewatch it. I've always held this in really high regard ever since the first time I did watch it. It makes me cry real good crying. Really strong anti-fascist spirit, which you don't really expect to get in a Pinocchio movie, but that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. It's set whenever Mussolini is reigning.
No shit. Oh, wow.
And he's enlisting people into their army to conquer and all this good stuff, and he discovers the boy who can't die, and all this good stuff because he's made of wood, Yeah, no, very different Pinocchio movie. It's still the core story of Pinocchio. Like he does all the same shit Pinocchio does in all the other Pinocchio movies, but there's just a little more there, and it's fucking awesome for that reason. Yeah, it super moving, super sad, super beautiful. I adore the movie. Tilda Swinton has a small role in it, which I really love. Ewan McGregor is Jiminy Cricket, which rocks.
Okay. Yeah, definitely not the Pinocchio movie I expected.
Yeah, no, and
Is it? Oh wait, is it stop motion here?
yeah, it's stop motion animation. It's
Oh
claymation.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fucking gorgeous. Also, it's unbelievable the craft of this movie. It was one of those things where you're never not amazed by what you're looking at, and I think that's always strong.
Yeah.
Just like the attention to detail and the amount of effort that has to go into a movie like this is absurd. So when it pays off as much as it did here, I gotta have it top 30 on the decade. It is so beautiful, and it is, like I said, incredibly moving. A lot of good songs, a little bit of a musical there. It's great. I love it. GDT's Pinocchio.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on here, 28. This is where I have Michael Mann's Ferrari. Good old another spotlight that we were doing here. A lot of anticipation for this one, and I don't know, this one is kind of like a little bit of a fine wine. I don't think I would have had it up here initially, right when I watched it out of the theater. But I don't know, it's just been kind of growing on me. It's my dad loves this movie. I think it's like an actual racing movie. Like if Ford versus Ferrari was actually made by someone who just makes movies really well. I don't want to shit on Ford versus Ferrari. I guess it's still a good, entertaining movie. But this one is actually just really nice to look at. And I remember the one theater moment I do remember. Spoilers for the movie, I guess. The crash
That
scene.
moment, yeah.
Oh
Cool.
my god. Oh, like I don't know. It was just all in one. It was so fast, and then like to have all of those thoughts in that one moment of like, holy shit, everyone in the theater just saw that, and like you could hear a pin drop. Like, I mean, it was crazy. And but
Yeah, there was like a
yeah,
gasp
the
and then
gasps,
just like
yes.
nothing.
Uh-huh.
God, it was
Like,
so good. It was
holy
so that is
shit.
one of my favorite theater moments ever, dude. That was so special. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you knew it was coming. Like they focused on that little thing on the road, and like or whatever that the tire hit to explode. Like you and like I feel like it was even in the trailer of like a car like flying off the road, but like you didn't see the people that it just, flattened
Yeah.
immediately.
Mows down.
And yeah, that was jarring. But no, the rest of the movie, I thought like to make just a race interesting is I feel like hard to do. Like I feel like it's kind of like golf where like if you're not into golf, you're just really not going to find it that entertaining. And racing is just kind of like, well, it's a car just going in a straight line or in a path for a long time until they pass the finish line. But I feel like they did a good job of just integrating the story, and just I don't know, the family kind of conflict, I think of oh my God, what was the I feel like a snub. Didn't Penelope Cruz not get a nod for this or anything
Yeah,
at
no,
all
she didn't.
for
Yeah.
her role? Man, yeah,
Insane.
that's sad. But no, I thought for sure it was gonna be one of the strongest of the year, but I guess I don't know. I'm not the Academy, but I do love me some Adam Driver in here. He's slowly becoming just one of my favorite actors. I think I don't know. At least the movies that I see him in, I love him. Kylo Ren, the first intro
Oh, he's
to him, I guess.
great.
But
He's
then,
great,
yeah,
man.
Megalopolis, House of Gucci, and now this, yeah. So I don't know. I liked Ferrari, just kind of like it's just gotten sweeter and sweeter, kind of over time a little bit, and it found its way here at 28.
I love it. I love it. All right, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep the ball rolling here with my 28, which this is tough. So,
Mm.
the way I did my top 100, there's, the ranking, it's a tad arbitrary, like I know
Mm-hmm.
people are like what's separating these? Truly not much, not much by like at all. but I did some things are dominated by how much I just love it. Some things are just so good I can't have it high, or I can't not have it high. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This movie is one of my favorites, but I'm confident every movie above it is better than it, and some
Okay.
below it are better than it. This is the
Mm-hmm.
this is the weird one where I feel like it's just because of how much I connect with it, it rose this high. Um,
Okay.
28's where I have Tick Tick Boom, directed
Okay.
by Lin-Manuel Miranda, starring Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
This
Oh
is
yeah.
one that we actually did rewatch recently, for the first time in a really long while, and it holds up like crazy for me. I love the songs. Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Garfield is perfect in every
Mm.
way in it. Um, I found it to be a little less good than I remembered it being, which is bizarre.
No.
But
No. Mm.
the things I loved about it, I still loved about it. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
Like, it still made me
Mm-hmm.
cry like a motherfucker. Like, it still did all the things it's
Okay.
supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was unquestionably like, oh, this is directed by a guy who's never directed a movie. You know,
Mm. Okay.
like
That's fair.
I could feel that as I was watching it. And you know, like that's not something I want to be thinking, but sometimes it's like, well, you don't, you haven't done this before, and that's not a problem. In fact, it's one of the more impressive directorial
Mm.
debuts that I've seen, just because I mean, I love it. It does move me to tears. Andrew Garfield is fucking fantastic, and there's so many great, like the musical numbers are incredible.
Mm.
Everything, like I love this movie. The thing that every movie above it has in common is that it is unquestionably better made, in my opinion. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Now that's not going to
And
be a
that's
universal opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with that. But that is why it ended up falling to this spot, because there are other movies above it that. So I guess I'm justifying why it fell, not why it rose.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because this is on
And
paper, it does make me as emotional as any other movie, you know, ever.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like you have, like I have comic book movies in here that are obviously not as well made as like a, I don't know, a Anatomy of a Fall or even Megalopolis. I
Mm.
don't, well, I mean, I don't know, just more of the craft. But then I have some above that, and it's like it favoritism just has to play some, that is just a big role,
Oh,
and you can't
absolutely,
get past
absolutely.
like yeah,
In fact,
but
like now that I'm looking at it, the only movie of the last several that I've listed that I would argue it might actually be better than
mm-hmm.
is in my 60s. Like
Mm.
that's this one rose for me
Wow.
comparatively to the rest of my list based purely on how much I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it did fall because there's just some above it that are just so
Yeah.
goddamn good. I couldn't be like, well, Tick Tick Boom has to go over it. It couldn't. So this is
Mm-hmm.
its ceiling for me, and that's all right.
Okay.
28's where I have Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get back to it. But not this episode. For me. I
Oh,
don't
don't
know.
I know it?
I love that man Andrew Garfield. And so yeah, we'll give him his flowers again. Um,
Sorry, I dropped the call, guys. I'm gonna get him back. Sorry about that.
there we go.
Drop
Are
the
we
call.
good?
Um,
We're good. We are
I believe
Gucci.
so. In fact, I think that our lag's going to be gone now that happened, which is
Mm-hmm.
good.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. We're on 27. Is that right? I think.
That is
On if we're
correct.
done. If we're done with Tick Tick Boom. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
good.
This one, okay, kind of on the similar boat of where I don't know if it does deserve this high up here, but out of the theater movies that I've watched, like this one, maybe for more real reasons, has stuck with me more. But I really, really enjoyed it more than I think the average person did out of the theater. And this is Civil War. And
Ah,
yeah, maybe not for the best reasons that it stuck around, but I really just thought that um, it surprised me, I guess, of the movie that it was so focused on just the media and the journalists and like the photography and like and I thought it was going to be much more of like a I don't know. And not Purge is like the first movie to come to mind for whatever reason, but that's not what I'm going. Just like not focused on like the good side of the war. I guess I thought it was like drawing in people to, for the action and whatever of things, but the like I thought it was going to be just a shit ton of interactions of what kind of an American are you from the trailer. I guess it was just going to like I thought they were going to go around and just kind of encounter everything, but no, I mean it shows the kind of the brutal natures of war, but then also the really I don't know a beautiful side of it that I've never thought about of like the people who are like putting their lives on the line to document the moment and like realizing how important it is to document these moments and I mean, I don't hope that we're going down this path.
No,
it's a little
yeah,
eerie of how
it's
just I don't know why, but Nick Offerman just looks like JD Vance, like a little bit, and
yeah.
like it's just a weird possibility of a near future, but I don't want to think that way. I just want to think of the movie because I
Yeah.
loved the lenses they used. I don't know. I feel like they had some,
God, it's
like
gorgeous, dude.
yeah, it was.
With a movie that so emphasizes the importance of photography and the beauty of photography had to look this good. Like if it
Mm-hmm.
didn't, it would have been selling itself short.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely one
Yeah.
that I kind of regret not having in my top 100 because there's it's one of those weird. It's a little bit of a mixed bag for me on its messaging, but the execution feels really, really strong. Like, because I
Mm-hmm.
agree, they are depicting the importance of journalists and the importance of the moment and honestly capturing what's being put to screen, or honestly capturing what they are going to be putting out into the world and what everyone's going to see. But there's just
Mm-hmm.
some things that we don't know who they
Mm.
work for. We don't know if they're independent journalists. We don't know if they work for a large paper. Like it's really interesting to see that there is just sort of there's still a real vagueness about
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I think that's a strength of the movie and one of those things that keeps it at arm's length for me.
Mm.
I one of
Mm-hmm.
the things I do really appreciate is that the politics are never explicitly explored. I think that that's a brilliant choice to kind of project your own sensibilities on who you want to align yourself with.
Mm.
And I think that that's at least really bold, and I can respect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think a lot of the movie is kind of your thoughts afterwards, and like you putting together what you like. You're kind of putting together what you think the world is like on your own because the movie doesn't really do a whole lot to tell you of like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like it's California and Texas or whatever are like in a legion. I don't know. Like I forgot like the
Yeah.
dynamic of whatever was going on, but it was obviously like what really
Yeah,
that's what we're going
that's
with.
who
But
figured it out. Yeah, right.
yeah, and but I mean, I think just the of how it looked. I loved. I feel like every time Kirsten Dunst was on screen, they used a different lens, or like sometimes, like I felt like
Yeah,
was
they
it
do
like a
like that
heart
radial
or
blur thing.
yes, okay, that's right. It was
Yeah, the
just
circle
okay, the
blur.
circle.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
okay, that's right. But I don't know. I look Kaylee Spaney is kind of up and
Oh,
coming.
she
Just with
rocks.
Alien Romulus, and I feel like Priscilla, one I haven't seen yet that I
Yeah,
do need to get
yeah.
to. But I feel like yeah, she's kind of up and coming on my list as well. I've liked everything she's been in so far. So I don't know. Yeah, I like Civil War. I think more than the average person. And I guess that's why it's up here. At 27. But that's as
No, I
high
love
as
that.
it
I
could
love
go.
that.
I guess. Hmm.
Yeah, no, because yeah, that movie is so confounding because it was a great theater viewing too. Did we see that in IMAX or was that just a normal
I think so.
digital?
I
I think it was in
That's a
IMAX.
good
I can't
question.
remember. I remember it big as fuck. I just remember like I know we
Mm-hmm.
saw that shit in the theater, and I remember it being fucking gorgeous. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they're driving through like the burning forest, and there's like
Oh.
ash raining down and
Oh
stuff.
my
Like gorgeous.
God.
Um,
That.
that's one of
Mm-hmm.
those
Yeah.
shots that just sticks with me, and I don't know why that one. Whenever Kirsten Dunst's head is in the grass and they're doing that radial blur with the flowers and stuff
Mm.
sprouting up around her and stuff like that. I mean, and obviously, spoilers alert. one of the final moments whenever Kirsten Dunst saves Kaylee Spaney and gets shot in the process, and she takes a picture of her. Like, that's a damn. That is a good fucking moment.
Knowing that like she would want the picture of her taken to, like, it's like exact. I don't know. It like, yeah. I mean, that it what a. Oh my god. I don't know. There were. It's like bad
the bright
situations,
side.
but
It's like the bright side of that scene from Nope, where the dark side of this coin is, why aren't you filming this? You know,
yeah, but the good, like, no, this needs to be documented. At least I will live on, you know, with this picture. Or I don't know if that's her thought necessarily, but yeah, no, I thought, I don't know, it I guess moved me, you know, and I it made me feel a lot, made me think a lot, and I love movies that, I don't know, that do that. That gave me to think afterwards and stuff. So
love that. All right, cool. Well, then I will proceed with my 27, which is one that you watched recently, and I'm super happy I haven't heard it from you yet because it means it's higher. This is where I have All of Us Strangers, directed by Andrew Haigh. Fucking that's gorgeous.
I guess we didn't line up completely, but I do have it at 26, so I guess we can just kind of talk this one together.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Wow.
Dude, beautiful fucking movie. It's still one that this is the one of the two, there were two this episode that I was like, God, I want to rewatch that, and I just didn't end up doing it for either. And I decided I wouldn't rewatch any of the movies from this episode because they were only going to reach a certain ceiling. I'm pretty fucking certain on that, which was by the end of this episode. It would, like, they max would have rose to 20 because my 19 on, they're just rock fucking solid. Like, I'm so confident they wouldn't breach that. But you know, I guess I never know until I rewatch it. But All of Us Strangers, Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott are incredible together. Andrew Scott, you know, you mentioned Penelope Cruz not getting the nod earlier. Andrew Scott's one of mine from last year where I'm like, holy shit, how did he not get the love he deserved for this?
Yeah.
I was taken with it, and it's beautiful to look at. There's parts that, you know, it blends tone so well. It's so eerie, but you don't know why it's eerie, and then it starts to crystallize, and you're like, oh, fuck, oh my God. Like, it's a little... It's a specific kind of scary that's sad. And that's a weird place for a movie to be. Most scary movies, like, this isn't a scary movie. It's not a horror movie. It is a specific type of horror. You know, like, it's a very, like, there's a fear that I have watching the movie that's just like, oh my God, what if this happened? You know, like, what if this is something I experienced? I don't know. It's horrifying.
Yeah. I don't, because at least my first watch of it, I thought I was getting into like a more of a beautiful movie, one that, you know, would have a good ending at the end, you know, kind of just two loners, you know, that ended up finding, you know, I mean, they're in this apartment building completely alone, and then they end up falling in love. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is starting off pretty nice. And then, you know, the train rides and the visits to the home, and it's just, okay. And yeah, I don't know. It does turn very, very, you know, not even super dark. I don't know. It is just sad. It is just kind of like, oh, damn.
It's depressing, man.
Like, oh, man. But what a weird, like, it is so depressing and sad, but like such a good watch. Like, why do I enjoy to watch that?
Movie. Yeah. I love the movie. It is on the backs of Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott, man. Like, they have an impeccable chemistry that just jumps off the screen. You know, I think that their connection is really what seals the deal for me. And, you know, frankly, I want to give some love to Jamie Bell and Claire Foy, the actors for Andrew Scott's parents. Because they are so convincingly his parents, you know, like, even whenever you're like, well, they look like they're the same age, you're like, I guess I can accept that they're his mom and dad, you know, like, because they're clearly his mom and dad, but you don't know why, you know, like, you don't know why they're presented that way, but you're like, that's obviously his parents. And yeah, Jamie Bell was another guy who got a lot of love for supporting actor during the awards season last year, but didn't end up getting the nod in the Oscars. Just really, really impressive stuff done by everybody. It's really, really neatly written, really beautifully shot, really well performed. Like, it's just an exceedingly good and touching movie.
Is Paul Mescal, is his character real? Was he ever actually a real
there? Yeah, I think so. I think so, but there's a time whenever Andrew Scott turns him away early on in the movie, and I don't think he's ever real after that.
Whenever
he sends him away from his apartment.
Oh my God, wait. Was it that one rejection, and then he actually?
And then
that's
he
whenever
himself.
he did kill himself right after that rejection.
That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't think about when. Oh, like if he was real, then when would that have happened? And it definitely probably would have been there before they actually met.
It was a lifeline. Yeah, he was asking for someone to be with him that night, so he didn't fucking commit suicide.
No. Oh my God. No. Yeah.
The movie gets fucking and that's what's crazy is I haven't watched this movie in, let's see, I have it right here. Since 11 months ago. I haven't watched this movie since 11 months ago, and it's seared. It's seared in there. Like it fucked me up.
That last scene at the restaurant, eating with his parent, or no one eating actually, because I don't I'm not hungry, thank you. And then the freaking mom at being confused and or whatever, like the dad going away fast and he's gone, and then the mom still being like, oh, what's going on, or like, oh no.
Well, and that's what I love too, is that there's no They never make it clear if it's like an Andrew Scott's character is having a mental breakdown, or if there is actually some paranormal shit happening to him. It seems like a blend of both. Because there's that part whenever Paul Mescal's trying to see inside, and what he sees is specters that don't have faces and stuff. It's weird. I love that there's an ambiguity to it that allows you to just analyze Andrew Scott's character, and he delivers just an unbelievable performance that a whole other ranking for best performances of the decade, this would be up there for me. I think he is just so good.
Oh yeah, I can finally say I have a new favorite, past Moriarty. I think this one I definitely would prefer over Moriarty. And I guess, I don't know, I'm looking at his letterbox. Is he confirmed to be in the next Knives Out? It looks, seems to be on there.
I feel like I heard about that. Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spaney, Andrew Scott, Josh Brolin, Thomas Hayden Church. It's going to have quite the cast.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully he'll be getting, I don't know. He was in 1917 Saving Private Ryan. I don't know, maybe as Soldier on the Beach and Saving Private Ryan. I don't know how.
Yeah, he would have been a young actor when Saving Private Ryan came out.
Oh, that's 1990. Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know it was that old. I thought it was early 2000s or 2010 for whatever reason. I just have never
late
seen
90s,
it.
but still, yeah, it's been a while. Man. Yeah, it's
okay.
He's a great actor, though. He's a great actor. Yeah. Need to see him in more things for sure. But all right, so that was my 27. You're 26.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I'll jump into my 26, which I desperately want to watch it again, but I have a similar thing as I did with Monkey Man, where I just want to preserve that. I want to preserve that feeling I had when I saw it on the big screen, and I can't bring myself to watch it outside of there. Dune 2. Dune Part 2.
Yes, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, what a fucking awesome movie. In fact, I actually just rewatched, in the wake of David Lynch's passing, his version of Dune, which, for all of its faults, I have a great time with. I think it's a lot of fun. But what it did more than anything is make me go, God damn, are the Dune movies good? The Denis Villeneuve Dune movies are so fucking good. And I think that the second one on the big screen is one of my favorite theater experiences, beginning to end, I've ever had. It's up there with Oppenheimer, up there with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that's saying a lot because those are much higher on my list.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I feel like I've been able to watch those a lot more accessibly outside of the theater, and I don't know what it is. I think it was just so profoundly good in that setting with
Yep.
that sound, with that giant of a picture, that
Mm-hmm.
anything else will be underwhelming. So I can't bring myself to come back to it. But Timmy is incredible. This is, I mean, he is the one who points the way, as he says.
Mm-hmm.
Zendaya is the absolute highlight for me. Chani is my favorite character in the Dune movies, and this one is really the one where she gets to shine. Javier Bardem is fucking hysterical as Stilgar. Rebecca Ferguson
Uh,
is scary as fuck as
mm,
Lady Jessica. Uh,
mm-hmm.
it's just
Oh yeah.
Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Leia Seydoux, Leia fucking Seydoux. I love them. I love everybody in this cast, and I think that everybody knocks it the fuck out of the park. And Greg Fraser's photography is
Mm,
unbelievable. If this
mm.
doesn't win best
Yeah.
sound design, best sound editing at the Oscars, it's a total fucking sham. Like I don't think there's a single thing that comes close. Uh,
Mm,
but yeah,
mm-hmm.
I adore it. I think it's
Uh,
great. Dune 2
yeah.
is a fantastic film.
It is a lot higher on my list, that's for sure. I think not
Mm.
a surprise. But I do agree with you that I have seen it outside of the theater and it is different for sure. Like it is not the same. Like you feel so much
When it
different in the theater.
rumbled within
Yes.
you, when the
Oh my
fucking giant,
God.
when the motherfucking worms are just,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yep.
incredible. It's
Yep.
incredible in that
Oh
setting,
man.
dude. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's mm-hmm.
so that I am now more open to rewatching it outside the theater more than I ever have been because of my recent rewatch of Lynch's Dune, or rather
Mm-hmm.
Dino De Laurentiis's Dune, because he butchered that shit in the editing room. But
Mm.
I I will be getting back to it sooner than later. It's a great adaptation of a fantastic book. Um,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so I've got it. I've got it about 20 spots higher than its counterpart in
Yeah.
Dune One.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad it did rise this high. I did expect it this episode. I won't lie. I did kind of expect it to come around here. So not too much of a surprise.
Good
I just
read.
know. Yeah, I knew it would be getting its flowers eventually later on. And I don't know. I kind of have a desert theme moving on kind of strangely. But not this one so much, I guess. This one is it's got a lot of different things. I think not a lot of people don't. I don't know. This wasn't the most loved movie, but I loved it. I don't know. I loved every second of it. I loved the idea. I loved how it blended the real world with the sci-fi. I'm a sci-fi geek, so I'm automatically gonna
Mm.
love it. But this is The Creator, by Gareth Edwards, and still probably not my favorite Gareth Edwards. I'd still say that one probably goes to Rogue One, but I feel like this one I don't know. I think the story was more unique here.
Yeah.
I just think I'm a Star Wars fan. How am I not going to like Rogue One? But this, I loved the visual effects and I loved the world that they built here and everything looked really good. And I think it was just because a lot of it was just real location, but it mixed like third world countries with or just a lot it wasn't right in the smack dab of LA or Tokyo
Right.
or I know kind of a big
Big
city. It
cities.
was
Yeah.
it was always on the outskirts or in villages or I don't know, just random places. And I thought that was a really cool, just the world they built was really cool. And then just I love John David Washington. Denzel's my man.
Always
And then
rocks.
having the young and upcoming
Got a little Gemma
just
Chan in there. Gotta love her.
yeah, and in this, the the whole AI and kind of like it being a kid and like how it's like actually like the first kind of sentient thing. I don't know. This is the one program. I kind of forgot, I guess, what I feel like this was just the AI to rule them all, kind of,
Yeah.
is what it seemed like. The master weapon, as they called it, and then it is just a kid, and it's like, oh, well, how do I just I can't just kill this thing, it's this weird moral gray of, I don't know, and I love any movie that kind of dives into it, and it just, I don't know, it feels, it's kind of crazy that, like, I don't know if it's going to be our lifetime, but like it might be that, like, we have, in a way, I don't know, a sentient non-human being, and that's, I don't know, any movie that takes itself seriously, and it looks this good, I'm gonna love, and I did, and I don't know, I don't think people loved it too much. I remember I don't know, that it was kind of disappointing for most people. But I
It
don't
was
know.
a mixed bag. Yeah, it was one of
Mm-hmm.
those ones where, I, and for me, it's similar to Civil War for me, where like execution wise on the ideas, really, really
Mm.
brilliant, but some of the ideas are a little muddled for
Mm.
me.
I'd agree.
That
Yeah.
those do belong very near each other. I hold them in very
Mm-hmm.
similar regard because, dude, what a gorgeous fucking movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it Godzilla minus one deserved the Oscar for best VFX. If it hadn't won, it obviously would have
Mm.
gone to the creator, and I wouldn't have been disappointed. Like that's what's crazy is that
Mm-hmm.
like it was that good looking, similar to Anatomy of a Fall winning over Past Lives, where I'm like, well, I wanted Past Lives, but if something's gonna win, it's got to be Anatomy of a Fall. It's the same thing here because
Mm-hmm.
everything they did science fiction wise
Oh,
looks
yeah.
unbelievable, dude. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
never
That.
forget, like, the ending of that movie made me cry and cry
Ooh.
and cry. I went and saw it with Emily in IMAX, and we were sitting in the back row, and we just looked at each other with
Mm-hmm.
tear-filled eyes at the end, like, oh god, real Star Warsy spirit, everything about it. It's great, man.
Mm-hmm.
I did love the creator.
Yeah.
I love the way the creator made me feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I do have it five above Godzilla minus one, and I do recognize Godzilla minus one probably a better made movie overall. But I guess this is just where
You could
favoritism
argue that this is the
and
power of an ending, dude. Like where
yeah.
where an ending might make you go, "Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like Godzilla minus one kind of does. Even though the last act of Godzilla minus one is great. Don't get me wrong,
Mm.
it is a great last act.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the literal right before we cut to
Yes.
credits. The literal right before we cut to credits in the creator is moving as all hell. Like it is so
Mm-hmm.
fucking good. So like I would argue that this is a really really good example of how that sort of difference can separate a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. I'm a
yeah,
sci-fi geek. It had to find its way up here.
yeah, the
But
creator is
so
fucking
yeah.
good, man. It is fucking
Mm-hmm.
good. But I've got another one-time watch at 25. We're breaching the top
Mm.
25. I'm happy the creator got there for you. That's
Mm.
cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
and this is one
Let's
that
see.
I'm going to revisit. I just
Okay.
haven't because man, is this a completely, thoroughly,
Mm.
absolutely devastating movie.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the TV Glow,
Oh,
directed by Jane
okay.
Shainburn.
Actually, not what I was thinking. Okay. A blind
Oh
spot. But
man, yeah. Just a really, really strong narrative that, if you're not looking for any queer subtext, could be about never seizing your potential. But if you are looking,
mm,
the very obvious queer subtext in the eye is much more obviously about gender dysphoria,
mm,
and not realizing that knowing in your heart of hearts who you are, but never taking that leap and deciding to be who you are, and the sort of disappointment life can bring. How
mm,
nothing will ever be right until you do seize that, if that is who you are. And that's what's brilliant, is that it still moved me to no end. It destroyed me. The ending just makes me cry. The whole movie kind of makes me cry. It's scary and it's sad and it's fucking devastating. And
mm,
furthermore, I can't imagine how it would affect me if I was trans. You know what
mm,
I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of trans friends online, and all of them are like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like this movie is so obviously for us, and it is directed by Jane
Mm,
Shainburn, who is a non-binary filmmaker.
Okay.
So they've experienced a little bit of the gender dysphoria that might occur there. And it's gorgeous to look at. Beautiful soundtrack. Original songs created for it. I think that the best supporting actress recently came out as non-binary, changed their name to Jack Haven. I think they should get some awards love. I think Justice Smith is one of my best performances of last year. Neither of them will get the love they deserve. Jane Shaneburn won't get the love they deserve. But this is deserving of a Best Original Screenplay nom, a Best Actor nom, a Best Supporting nom, a Best Director nom, maybe Best Cinematography nom. Like it is a thoroughly brilliant movie, and on the year for 2024, I would have it top 3 or 4.
Wow. Yeah,
like it's
oh no,
so
it does
good.
look beautiful. Yeah, looking through, it looks very purple as well. I love purple. Purple and pink is kind of the vibe I'm getting mostly, at least through the shots that are on here. But,
yeah, very purple movie.
Yeah. I'm I don't know.
And very, and very mind bending. One of those ones where you don't really know what's going on, and it's because Justice Smith's character doesn't really know what's going on, because everything's just kind of happening to them, and it's devastating, but damn is it fascinating and mesmerizing. It's a great movie. So I saw the TV glow. Even if you aren't looking for the queer subtext, which I wouldn't even argue is subtext, I think it is expressly in your fucking face, but a lot of people for some reason like to ignore that. I've noticed, which is bizarre. But a lot of the film critics that I do trust and do enjoy are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You know, like it's in your fucking face. It's plain as day.
Okay.
So yeah,
all
I saw the TV glow. Great movie.
There we go. All right. Well, we're back in the desert for 24, but not part 2. This is where I have part 1 of
Beautiful.
Dune for me. So yeah, I guess the difference in how much we love the franchise here showing, I guess, because 1 I do love, but 2 is on a whole different level. Mainly the theater experience and how crazy that 2 enhanced 1. And it made it so much better after. I didn't realize how good the first one was until I fell in love with the second one. And then going back and watching the first one and just kind of, I don't know, knowing where it does go, I think just it helps. I don't know. No, yeah, and I guess I was more used to the world, and like I wasn't just taken back and kind of experiencing it for the first time. I don't know, and I got a lot more appreciation for Oscar Isaac's character. I don't know, just because knowing that's
Leto.
all we're gonna get of him. And he's, I don't know, kind of just the ghost that's gonna haunt, I feel like, the rest of the movies. I don't know. But I don't know. I guess I have no clue where Messiah goes at all. I have no. I still have. Spoiler free. I've still only gotten 100 pages into the first book.
Even if you read Dune Messiah, I have a feeling we are going somewhere. I think this is where the adaptations part. I have very little faith that Denis Villeneuve is going to continue the story he's setting up with what the material is in. Like, there will be elements of it, but I think that will be the most obvious divergence from source material. Because there's already some pretty major ones towards the end of Dune 2. So he's definitely creating his own path.
That's, I guess, good to know. I guess a little dangerous, a little bit, you know, if it's not, because the source material seems to be everyone loves it.
I'll tell you what, Dune Messiah, the book, would not be a good movie. The book's good. Like, it is a good book on its own. It would be like, for what Denis Villeneuve has done with these two movies, it would be a boring ass conclusion to a trilogy. Like, it would not be fulfilling. So I have a feeling he's going to do something, you know, maintaining some of those main story elements, but making it, enlivening it a little bit.
All right. Yeah. I mean, in this, I feel like the thing everybody says about the Dune movies is like the scale of them and just how big things look, and that's why the theater really does enhance these viewings, I think, and some people would say that's a detriment to a movie if it only looks good in the theater, but like that's what
Nah, that's
you
where
know
they're supposed
Denis
to be.
and what they're making. Yeah. That is what they expect the viewing to kind of I don't know. That is the most ideal viewing. I don't know, until we have some VR or straight to the brain type thing. I don't know. The theater is just where it's at. And but I don't know, like the mosquito little ships that they had. I remember like the
The
first time I saw that, I was just
ornithopters.
like,
Ooh,
yes, I was just like, oh my god, that's just so fucking sick. And like the
dude.
sound design of them, and like I don't know, just all the sci-fi
Yeah.
beats in the Dune universe. He's really, I don't know, he's hit them. And I love how like it's just a dirty word. It's not clean. It's like
Mm.
I don't know. It is I don't know, just dusty and but still sci-fi as heck. And
Well, and then
and
back on Caladan, like the water planet and stuff, like
mm,
gorgeous photography there, gorgeous architecture.
mm-hmm.
Whenever like
Oh,
one of my favorite details from the first movie is when the guild, the navigation guild,
mm-hmm.
pulls up, and they don't even really elaborate. They don't do anything to explain to you where they're
Yep.
coming from. They just fly through a little tube, and you're like, okay, bet. And
Mm-hmm.
then like that whole thing where they're announcing what's going on, brilliant looking.
Mm.
Uh, Smile, Gurney. I am smiling. Fucking incredible.
Gurney. Ah, God, gotta love Gurney. Yeah,
Patrick
he's
Stewart plays Gurney in the David Lynch Dune, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good old what? Professor X? Good
Yep.
old wow, as Gurney. Okay. I guess he was Gurney before he was Professor X then.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
definitely. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have
But
to check
after
out
he
the
was
OG.
Picard, I'm pretty sure.
Is that Star
From Star
Trek?
Trek. Yeah.
Okay, yes. I still haven't gotten around to Star Trek.
I've not watched any Star
Surprisingly.
Trek, which is
I
something
kn-
that maybe
that's
we ought to tackle
That is
for the
crazy. I
show,
don't
by the
know.
way.
Yeah, that is kind of
Um,
crazy that neither of us have seen it at all.
Well, when we were
Just
young coming up, it was just always so either or Star Wars, Star
mm-hmm,
Trek, and then I fell in love with Star Wars, and it was like fuck it,
mm-hmm.
I never have to watch Star Trek. But
Yeah,
now
I'd
I'm
feel like a
curious.
traitor a
I do
little
want to
bit.
know.
Yeah,
I want to
but
know. Because I've heard
yeah,
great things. So maybe maybe that's something we
mm-hmm.
look into. A
Yeah,
little Star
I
Trek
would like that.
project.
Yeah.
But first time viewings for both of us, it could be fun. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all right, Dune, the first
Yes,
Dune,
the
there
first
for
one.
you
Yes.
at
Uh-huh.
what was that, 24?
24. Mm-hmm.
All right.
24. Sorry.
25. But 24 for me is one that I
Mm-hmm.
had you came on over and we screened it down here in the sub
Ah,
basement. 24 is where I have The Beast,
yes.
starring Leia Seydoux and George McKay, directed by Bertrand Bonello.
Mm-hmm. La Bete.
Unbelievable. Yeah, La Bete. Unbelievably original. Heart achingly romantic, devastating ending, just
Mm-hmm.
profound levels of yearning going on in this movie. Leah Seydoux, I think, is a easy best actress pick for me this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is brilliant. I think this screenplay is innovative as all hell. The imagery is
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. Drop dead gorgeous movie, with drop dead gorgeous people.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaky. I hesitate to throw the word around because it's sacred to me, but there's a little Lynchian thing going on here,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in the second, the like 2014 timeline where
Mm-hmm.
she's in the house looking around and stuff, and there's glitches and shit. Like that's a little,
Mm.
there's a little bit of a Lynchian thing going on there. Um,
Yeah, I still don't know like what fully like the I guess I'm wrapped around most of the movie, but the green screen
the green
and
screen.
the pauses and the going back like that it's like it seems that there's some outer world, that they're not
God, what a
in
fucking
fully or
movie, dude!
something. Yeah, it's
I
gnarly.
love that
Mm,
movie, and that's I'm just speaking volumes to how much I love the rest of I love the rest of these movies. With this being at 24, because
mm-hmm.
I these top 25 really, or top 26, 27, 28. These. I love these fucking movies, dude. So like each succeeding one, just know it breaks my fucking heart to be putting anything below anything else. And The Beast particularly bothering me at 24. But I love it. It's a gorgeous movie. So I got The Beast at 24.
All right. Yeah, one time viewing for me only. It was that's it. But man, it's not this episode for me.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little bit later. I don't know. I did take a liking to it immediately. So we'll get back to it next week. But still in the desert vein for me. One that you already have said and rewatched recently and didn't move. And I think if I were to rewatch it, it would be the same for me. But this is where I have Furiosa, the good old other desert movie that we got this year. And yeah, I don't know everything we did say about it before. Just holy fuck. The theater, like in the theater, definitely helped. Doing an Anya Taylor-Joy spotlight definitely helped. You know, it was the feelings were definitely good going into it, and I wasn't disappointed. It was just the good old revolutionary spirit, and Chris Hemsworth. I don't know, yeah, just finally a role for him where I don't see him as Thor, and like he actually did kind of escape into the character.
To make it epic? Yeah, no, he's so good, dude. I'm continually amazed by what he does in that movie, just because it's so, like you said, he doesn't really escape into characters in a way that makes me go, well, that's not Thor. You know, this one, that's Dementus. That is the Red Dementus. That is Dementus the Dark. Whatever else he fucking called himself in that movie, that's him. I fucking love it. There's a part when he gets his nipples torn off. I don't know if you remember that.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah, he's got something attached to his nipples, and then someone like yanks it, and they come off, and he's like, "Oh, god damn it! Oh man." Ooh, that sucks. And it's funny because he's like, I got a lot of adrenaline running through me. Yeah,
man, I did love how he slowly just got more and more red over time. You know, he was white at first and very pure. I don't know, had his cape, whatever, and then he didn't give a fuck later on. He was going down the path. But no, yeah, just
he's fucking hysterical, man.
In the, I don't know, the moment of whenever she got her arm torn off, I thought would actually be more of a moment. You know, I thought like it was, I don't know, but it just kind of boom, sick. it just happened, and I was like, oh shit, like there it went, and I don't know, I remember just kind of it being fast,
and it was her only map home.
Oh, god damn it, no, yeah, and then finding home, not really home anymore. Not quite, but the seed or the seeds, right? I don't know. There was still some seeds left, and that's all you need. I don't know. Life finds a way, even in a world like this. And good old Samoan Joe? That doesn't sound. Why did I think Samoan Joe?
I'm pretty sure Samoan Joe, if I'm not incorrect, was a WWE wrestler.
Samoan yes.
Samoa Joe.
Yes, Samoa Joe. Yeah. Is a dub. Yep, there he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have a clue who you are talking about if you're not talking about... Are you talking about like the main guy?
Oh my god, in Fury Road, yeah.
He's in Furiosa a little bit too. The Immortan.
Oh, that's
Joe.
right, Immortan. There it is. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I went some. I don't know. That was just what was in my brain.
WWE, baby. WWE, that'll stick with you forever.
I mean, yeah. That the day I found out it was fake was. I mean, that was just a horrible day. That was. I
thought these dudes were murking each other, and they are. They are genuinely putting their bodies on the line for entertainment. It's just all planned. That's all.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, I planned to destroy my body on this day, you know? Got to give them some credit there. They are entertainers. Samoa Joe. All right, WWE at 23. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
SmackDown
Furiosa,
Raw.
ECW. No, I do love me some Furiosa, and I'm so glad I got back around to it because my only complaint, and this is something that I didn't feel in the theater, but I did feel at home, is that it's a bit long in the tooth. It just feels Like it stretches a little bit. It is an
Mm-hmm.
epic though, so there is something to be said for that.
Yeah.
Like it is her whole fucking life up to the point
Mm-hmm.
where we see her in
Get the
Fury
rest of it.
Road.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
the, or I guess the next part of it.
yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
I don't
Furiosa. Yeah,
had
fucking
to
good.
had to at least put it above, the two desert movies. I'm like, yeah, no, I do like it more than Dune 1. And
Yeah,
that's surprising. I don't know. I don't I do love me some Dune. So to be above that is a lot for me. But yeah. I
yeah. I've
the
got it
goat
eight
number.
spots. I've got it 8 spots above Dune and 9 spots below Dune 2. So I've got it right
Mhm.
splitting them. But
Mhm.
all right. My
Yeah.
23. This might be a shocker. This might be a
Okay.
shocker.
Hmm.
Challengers,
You're
directed by Luca Guadagnino.
actually
Actually, Challengers.
wow, very much a surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
okay.
Um,
Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
this is
Huh.
one that there. I don't. There's no reason it fell this low. I love this movie. It's just that I love a lot of movies. I
Wow.
love a lot of movies. There's a lot of
Yeah?
great movies that have come
Okay.
out. Um, something that did become incredibly clear to me within the last few weeks when we covered it for New Year's, and and I watched another one on New
Mm-hmm.
Year's, is that this is not my favorite movie of 2024. It's up there, but it's not quite my favorite of 2024. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever I came to that realization, it was easy to kind of put things between them.
Ah.
It was kind of easy to
Okay.
go, okay, well, yeah, I think I do like this more than that. I think I like this more than that. And Challengers is fucking great. I mean, we just discussed it for an hour and a
Mm.
half or whatever a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago on New Year's Eve. So our New Year's Eve episode was Challengers, one of our favorites of 2024. Definitely one of my favorites of the year.
Wow.
Gorgeous
Man.
fucking movie. Great to look at. Great performances. Love Zendaya. Love Josh O'Connor. Love Mike Faced. It's sexy. It's tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's love the score. Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I'm in there.
electric.
I'm in there. So yeah, love me some Challengers, but it did fall outside, even outside the
Wow.
top 20. So yeah.
That's I honestly, like, I thought it was top 10 for sure. I don't know. I was operating under that assumption the whole, so I thought you said it like as a, this might come as a surprise, challengers, psych, and then you were going to say something else. But no.
Nope,
Wow.
nope.
I
That
mean,
is just where I have it. It's not
wow.
even my top Luca Guadagnino of the
Damn.
decade.
Okay. Okay. Um wow. I mean, I guess I'll get back around to it eventually, but I don't know. This one, after the New Year's viewing, actually it rose more than where I had it initially before.
Ah,
So yeah,
nice.
I got it pretty high. This I don't know, it's magnetic. I don't know.
It
It's
is. It
just,
is.
it never leaves your head. That is a movie that is ingrained into my brain. Like that is, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I can say a whole lot, but okay, wow, very surprising. But I guess you do have a lot more movies watched
The
than me,
last
so
three movies I have in this episode you haven't seen.
okay, there you go. Yeah, and I think that makes sense. There's a lot more in between. But okay, wow, okay, definitely a surprise. But all right, wow, 23, goated number, can't be, the goat, LeBron
That is
and
my
Jordan, whoever you
that
care.
is my
So
LeBron
there we
number
go.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. It got all Zendaya and Furiosa. We got Anya Taylor and Zendaya, the both goats
Queens.
of this list. So there we go. Okay, wow. Well, I guess moving on here to 22. Man, just movies are back. It was what this movie kind of just was. And every time I watch it, it just gets better and better. And it's just like this. It's just this man. I think he just has this energy. It's Top Gun Maverick is what I have here. Tom Cruise. Yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of that dude. And I'm realizing it even without all the Mission Impossibles. I still have to get to that. Waiting on that. I can't wait till we get there to watch all those movies. And but yeah, no, this what an I people say that like it's not like the original. I like it more than the original.
It's so much
I don't
better.
know. Like
it is fucking
I
miles better.
I
Don't let anyone fool you.
Yeah, maybe that's just you don't want to let go to the OG. You want to say that it's better, or whatever. No, I mean I don't care. This movie is so much better, and not just because
don't get me wrong. Top Gun is a great movie.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm speaking to just how good Maverick is. Like it's insane how good this movie is, and you'll like the little Joseph Kosinski connection, of course, as he was the director of Tron Legacy, also directed this movie. You got a little love there,
of course.
Of course.
Ooh,
Yeah,
oh, never mind. I confused. Oblivion. I thought it was Arrival for a second. I'm like, wait a minute.
Arrival's Denis.
Yeah, no. I was like, yeah, that's a different league there. But no, Top Gun Maverick. I mean, kind of in the Arrival league, I would say.
Oh, I would agree.
I don't know how much I like it. But no, yeah, I don't know. Just I mean, it's what I'm studying in school, so anytime jets or anything are in movies, stuff like that, I'm not really particularly on the military route, or I don't want to make weapons, but man, it's just, I love seeing things go fast. I don't think that'll ever get old for me. And the idea of sitting in one of these jets and just going, I want to experience in my life at some point. I know I will never be able to be in control of the thing,
but just because in there.
Oh my God! I need to know what that feels like eventually.
I'm not. I like to think of myself as a pretty humble individual. I'm loaded with humility. I'm one of the most humble people you'll ever meet. Everybody says this. Everybody says this about me. I am so humble it blows people's minds. No, but
you think?
And I don't think I could fly one of these. No, fuck that. Not a jet. I am so confident I could fly a plane. Like I am so confident I could fly a plane.
Yes. I mean, once it's up in the air, it is surprisingly, pilots say, easy. Like it's honestly hard to crash a plane once in the air because they're designed to stay stable and just to stay level. And like there's a dude who had no idea how to fly a plane. He hijacked it and was just like, hey, can this do a barrel roll? And he did successfully do a barrel roll in a plane before. I mean, he did crash at the end. He didn't know how to land the plane. So like,
that's
a very sad
part.
story.
That is one of those parts where I'm like, I see. Now the landing seems a little more difficult. That seems a lot more precise. I'm more nervous behind the wheel of my car on a day-to-day basis than I think I would be in the sky flying a plane.
Yeah, nothing out there. You're
exactly
open air. I guess birds.
I feel very
you gotta
good.
Worry about.
That's one of my most dude opinions. Yeah, no, I do love me some Top Gun Maverick. It won't be this episode. It won't be this week.
Okay.
I do have that outside of this inside the top 20. But
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, Maverick rocks, man. I'm a big fan of that movie. And the rewatch I just had solidified it because that was prior. I alluded to something a couple weeks back and was like, it was in here. I think it was in my fucking 60s, and it leaped.
Oh wow!
It leaped.
Yeah.
I had only watched it once prior, and now I'm like, oh, I love this. Yeah. All right. 22, Top Gun Maverick. My 22, and this is a first watch recently. Actually, I believe it was my first watch of the new year in 2025.
Okay.
This is where I have West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Ooh, a Spielberg. Okay.
A Spielberg musical at that. And West Side Story is obviously quite classic. When you're a jet all the way. I love it. And Mike Faist is in it. I got Mike Faist back to back in these. Very big role. He gets to do his actual musical theater kid thing, and he's great at it. He's a great dancer. He's incredible at singing. He's got a great thing going on as Riff there. Rachel Zegler is flooring, absolutely flooring as Maria. You got Ariana DeBose in the mix. Corey Stoll, Rita Moreno. It's a great cast. Beautiful to look at. Incredibly moving story. Not an original story, of course. West Side Story has been production for 60 years now. But it's an incredible movie. and this adaptation of it was beautiful. Like, just everything you love about Spielberg's visual sensibility, turn it up as high as it can go and make it a musical. You know, that's what we're doing. So
that sounds intriguing to me. I
yeah,
mean,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
you'll love this movie. Whenever you watch it, you'll fucking love it. Yeah, I can promise you that.
I got some Spielberg coming up, but not this episode, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I at first kind of didn't remember this movie a whole lot, but now I remember, like, whenever in 2021, like the trailer for it. I remember Ansel as, like, Ansel, is it?
Yeah, Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just stroked.
Yeah,
on
the
his name
Fault
a
in
little
Our
bit.
the Fault in Our Stars kid.
Mm-hmm.
He turned
Yeah,
out to
I
be
remember.
a piece of shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
disappointing part of the movie.
Dang.
Spielberg really knows how to pick him between Shia LaBeouf and Ansel Elgort. And
Damn, that's disappointing. But
Yeah.
that, I guess he was the face of the trailer. I feel like that I remembered.
100%.
Out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I need Spielberg is just kind of that guy. I don't know. He's kind of like the Tom Cruise of directors. You're never gonna be disappointed with a Spielberg whenever he puts anything out.
Been at it a long time. Been great at it a long time. Man, just doesn't get better. Just doesn't get better than that. So West Side Story, brilliant film, brilliant musical. One of those examples of, like, every musical now should aspire to this. Like, this is the level you should be trying. This is the mark you should be trying to hit.
Okay.
You will not succeed, but you should try. West Side Story, 22.
Okay. All right. Well, quite the opposite of a musical here. This one, but in, I guess, a good way. It sucks. I don't want to revisit it because of how uncomfortable it is. This is where I have the zone of interest here. And, it just is horrific to... most horror movies, you need a scary monster or the paranormal or something made up. No, this is written history. This is on Earth, not that long ago, and it's insane to see the inner workings, I guess, of just what a daily life would be of, the people who lived near, like, how could you live there? It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know, I cannot wrap my head around it, but to see it just for a long amount of time and have to sit there, and then the end going through the museum, I don't know, it's just it's a horrible cry. It's not fun. It is terrible, but it is, like, at least
great movie, dude. Again, another one I don't have this week.
Okay. Yeah.
I love this movie, as demoralizing and devastating as it is. I appreciate how prescient, sadly, it is. That it was made now, amidst atrocities being committed in Palestine and just the Congo. There's more genocide happening on Earth than you'd like to imagine.
Should be zero.
Yes.
You would think at
Ideally.
this point. But no, not
Not
the
even
case.
in a perfect world, in a just world, that would be zero. That's I'm not even looking for perfection here. I'm talking bare minimum bullshit here. No genocide, all right?
You'd think after this one that we'd be like, oh, that is just a thing we won't do again. That now, okay, no.
Well, and you'd think that these people wouldn't be idolized to the point where people feel emboldened enough to do it on national TV and be this is what I'm about now. The Zone of Interest, though. Great movie. Great movie.
Gets your blood boiling.
Yes,
that's
it
for
does.
sure.
Yes, it does. Sandra Hüller is really, really good in it, too. She's great.
Ooh. The one thing I don't know, whoever was the main kind of general guy, or whenever he just had that, or just kind of, the demon or whatever coming out of him.
Well-earned.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well earned. The rotten insides pouring out. Fucking incredible. Yeah. Great movie.
So
Devastating
it's
movie.
yeah, it's like you can only really say bad things about it, but it's like in a good way. Like
No, yeah, Jonathan
yeah.
Glazer did a fucking incredible
Mhm.
job with that movie. I mean, it's great looking. It's super well edited. Really great score. Harrowing, harrowing movie. Just like the sound design is devastating. Everything is devastating, and it's so well done. So the Zone of Interest, yeah, I dig that. I've got it a little higher.
Okay. All right.
My 21. This is another blind spot for you, as I said. This is where I have a movie called Drive My Car, directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi. This is my second Hamaguchi film, as I also had Evil Does Not Exist back in the 40s last week. Drive My Car is serene. It's kind of the word I will use to describe it. The score is lovely. Aiko Ishibashi is incredible. She does a great job with the Drive My Car score. It's 3 hours. It's a slow burn. It's just kind of existing with this guy. And don't get me wrong, he goes through movie shit. It's not like it's not like Sometimes I Think About Dying or certain women that I've regarded as kind of like you're just living with them for a little bit and that's that. No, stuff happens to this guy. The jumping off point for this movie is that, well, he's a playwright and his wife is he's a stage actor and director, and his wife is also a writer, and they're workshopping stuff. He gets called to jury duty. He's got to fly out, and he leaves, and but his flight gets canceled, and when he comes home, he finds his wife with another man. But she doesn't see him. He doesn't say anything. He just quietly leaves, and never confronts her about it. And I'm not really spoiling anything here because it's just kind of the way they do it is interesting. And then she dies.
Okay.
And he never confronted her about it. There's this sort of unresolved feeling within him that, and that's like 40 minutes into a 3-hour movie. So like there's a lot that goes on in this film. And it's kind of him just existing after, and it's really just a really poignant depiction of love and all of its complications. Love is not any one thing. It's not always neat, and it's not always perfect. It's not always pretty. Sometimes it is, deciding in a moment like this that you love them enough to never confront them about something like that. Understanding a person well enough to recognize that maybe they needed it in some fucked up way, which is I'm not saying that that's necessarily, it's never justified. I don't think adultery is appropriate in any capacity, but there's an interesting line towed where it's him grappling with the way he loved her and how she must not have loved him the same way, but she did. She, by all accounts, in every other way, loved him as much as he loved her. But she cheated on him. And that's like the only blemish on the surface of this relationship. And it's so fascinating to like watch that sort of unfold for him. Great movie. Very, very peaceful. Intense at points, but I just, serene is the word I would use to describe it. Great movie. Drive My Car.
One that was almost thrown on. I might have hypothetically sailed the high seas for this one, and had it in the folder of ones to get to, but didn't quite get around to it. But I don't know. Looking through, it does look good too. I don't know.
Gorgeous movie. So, I mean, unbelievable to look at there. So yeah, Drive My Car, fantastic film. Strongly recommend.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the last one. This is the tippy top.
The tippy top of the tip. The tippity top of the tip. But yeah, I'm not going to do the giveaway thing. I've done it enough. If you know about it, you know about it. Go to Blue Sky at Colton Robertson. I've got a pinned post there explaining our giveaway. Check it out. I don't feel like it today.
That's fair. I mean, has been how many parts by now? Or we're on part
fucking 7. I've said it 7 times, guys. Yeah. You check out any of the other 7 episodes, you get all the details about the giveaway. Go check it out.
All right. Well, then to top off the list, this movie it has some crack in it. I compare it to Cure. It is the closest movie that I think I can have to Cure, and it's a movie that I watched and that I just instantly loved, but I didn't know fully why, and but I haven't gone back, which is interesting. I've only, I think, seen it the one time. Oh, look at no, I did watch it twice, actually. Never mind. Maybe I just didn't rate it, and then I went back and rated it. So I'm not actually sure, but I think I only watched it once. But this is where I have La Chimera for me.
Yeah.
And whoa. I mean, Josh O'Connor, big fan. And seeing him, I don't know,
Huge.
take the full lead here was awesome. And I mean, just the ups, I don't know, the paranormal, just you don't really know where the movie's kind of going. I feel like it's just kind of, we're on this adventure with him and just they're, I don't know, tomb raiding, and just going into tombs, whatever. But then, like I remember the ending, whenever he visits that one kind of house. I think that was maybe like a train station, I feel like, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And just with all the women and like, it just,
And the
it felt like,
children
felt like a perfect, like, I mean, what more could you ask for, kind of, I don't know, there. But then
the one he seeks.
Realizing that he can't stay. I don't know, that it would, I don't know, just, it's not his place.
I love that movie, and this is one that I do not have this episode. You've rattled off a few in a row that I do not have this week. It will be in the final 2 parts, but it's one I'm 100% revisiting before we talk about them next week.
Oh my God.
It's
I feel like I'm not doing it enough justice because like it has been such a while. It's been 7 months since I've watched the movie.
Well, and there's something to be said for it being 20 on your list. I mean, I only watched it the one time too, and I have it higher than this.
Yeah.
More than anything, I remember just the way it awed me. Like, I was just all enveloped. It made me feel, I don't even want to say good. It just made me feel, like it's so warm. And there's such an interesting vibe it's got going that I can't help but gravitate to it. La Chimera, you do not need to justify being like, I don't even really remember. Like, I don't either, bro. But it feels great. I love that movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of every movie that I have above, I'm like, I clearly remember why I do love the movie, and like I don't know, like, I can kind of picture but I don't know, it is kind of like a cure. Like I feel like I was mesmerized or just kind of hypnotized a little bit, like while watching. So
and you watched it and you just loved it, and that was that. Yeah.
No,
man, La Chimera, it's a special fucking movie. So yeah, 20. I love the way you're rounding out the list there with La Chimera and Zone of Interest, and goddamn, good couple there. Good couple there to conclude. But I'm going with one of the last blind spots I'll have for you. I think that after this one, including this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, not one of the last. I'll only have 5 after this. 5 in my top 20. But 20 is where I have Bones and All, directed by Luca Guadagnino, starring Timothée Chalamet and Taylor Russell. This movie is fucked. It is fucked. It's so good though, and so romantic, and bizarrely so. One of those movies where I'm watching it and I'm mortified, but I'm also like, aw. And I don't know how to explain that. You will know when you watch the movie. That's just it's I had a little, like, I had semi spoilers. It's about cannibalism. Bones and All.
Okay, not at all where I thought it was gonna go.
No, yeah, it's. I mean, it's not about cannibalism, but the characters are cannibals, which is a very important part of the story, of course, because that can't just be an aside that you assign a character. No, when you make a character a cannibal, that is part of their whole thing. Yeah, no, it's really, really great. Luca Guadagnino is a brilliant director. This was one of those, like, as soon as I watched this, it was another thing that made me go, okay, maybe I'm comfortable putting this above Challengers, and that spoke volumes to me. Like, it really just made me, I mean, I cried. I empathized with characters you wouldn't think it's possible to empathize with. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And Timothée Chalamet is brilliant. Taylor Russell is brilliant. They have an incredible chemistry. And for all of its viscera and nastiness and gore, it's still heart-achingly romantic and sweet and beautiful. So I think that there's something beautiful about bloody romance, and that's what we got here in Bones and All. So yeah, that concludes the 20s for me. Let's run it back. 20 through 29, what do you got?
All right. 20, I had La Chimera. 21, The Zone of Interest. 22, Top Gun Maverick. 23, Furiosa. 24, Dune Part 1. 25, The Creator. 26, All of Us Strangers. 27, Civil War. 28, Ferrari. And 29, Poor Things.
And I had 20, Bones and All. 21, Drive My Car. 22, West Side Story. 23, Challengers. 24, The Beast. 25, I Saw the TV Glow. 26, Dune 2. 27, All of Us Strangers. 28, Tick Tick Boom. And 29, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And with that, we will conclude this episode of The Cinementalists. And we'll be back with the last two parts of our top 100 next week, the top 20. We will have an episode on 19 through 11 next week. And then we will also have the top 10. So we will not only be having an episode that only has 9 movies, we will also have a movie that has 10. So I look forward to that greatly. Or 8 movies and 10 movies, as opposed to the usual 9. Am I tripping? No, we usually do 10. One of them's going to have 11. How's that work? There's no 0. There's a 1. Duh. Idiot.
Okay. I don't know. I was a little confused too at the moment. Yeah.
No,
okay.
I couldn't do the math. We're starting with the 0, ending on the 1 versus starting on a 9 and ending on a 0, which is why I was like, it can't be 11. It's 1 through 10. Okay. It's 10 fucking movies. But yeah, no. So yeah, nine movies in one part, 10 movies in the other. We're only doing 19 movies here. So that's what we've got next week. You got to be there. Part 9 and 10. Sorry for the stupid math there. Leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening, and come on back next week. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And it seems like Timmy C was the highlight this week. We got both Dunes and Bones and All, so go ahead and check out a Timothée Chalamet film today. Bye.